Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. For those who are new to my YouTube channel, my name is Fatima El-Hindi. I was born a teacher. I taught math and physics for a while, but the past 30 years, I have been focusing on teaching consciousness and researching the topic from both the Quranic perspective and quantum physics, and share my findings and my thoughts with my audience, with my students and community at Nas Learning Center.
Hello, I'm Saif. I've been a student at Sister Fatima's Nas Learning Center for many, many years now, since I was in pre-K. And I've always been interested in learning more about the Quran, especially the misinterpretations and everything that, comes with the noise when it comes to learning this stuff. I'm a student of economics. I'm a college student. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what this channel will bring us.
Thank you, Saif, for helping to put this series. I will just give a brief introduction why I'm really wanting to put this series together with you, Saif. I mean, I've known you since you were a pre-K. You are the same age of my son, and you were in the same class forever.
Mhm.
So I thought really about starting the series of teachings about the prophets and the ascended masters. They walked on the earth and they brought awareness to people. I noticed with my scientific research, especially in quantum physics, that we are now just starting to tap to the information that was given to us by those ascended masters and messengers a long time ago. Yes, the scriptures had a lots of truth, had a lots of common, you can say, teachings, but of course, man-made interfere sometimes, and there's some distortions. And like you said, we're here to explore the truth together. Good character, once applauded honestly and respected, I feel it has been devaluated, and it's very alarming. You can say devaluated at an alarming rate. I would say myself, when I was growing up, you know, we did not see or experience shooting in schools, problems in the society as much as we see them now. Schools are no longer safe, streets are no longer safe. So this is really is is the idea that I thought, like, being a teacher, I can help our youth to develop a better character. Uh, and that, I feel, it has been caused by some biased media coverage and is leading them to just be scrolling constantly on their phones. They don't know if the information is right or wrong. Parents are extremely busy. Life became really very challenging. And also, we are spending more time with the social media than with nature, or even eating a healthy diet. Kids are constantly having bags of chips, watching their TVs. So I don't know what's your opinion about this, Safe,
Yeah,
but really
I,
that.
I, I completely agree. There's a lot of noise is what I think. And I think that for elites and government positions to be able to monitor and have order in a society, what they need is they need to influence the public mind into a certain belief system and set of ideas. And so they do that through mass media, television, newspapers, whatever they can. And it's just noise at the end of the day. And because of the time that people don't allow themselves the time to think and come up with original thoughts, they
Mhm.
lose that sense of character and they lose that sense of, you know, autonomy and individuality. So,
Yeah. So if I look at myself, for example, and the way I try to raise my children and help you guys in the community, as you've been with us for a long time, I grew up, as you know, and I shared it with you guys many times, with the Sufi masters, and they helped me understand the character of Muhammad. I mean, they focused at first on teaching us the character of Muhammad because we were born and raised in that culture of Islam, which means peace. And the peace comes when you are having a good character. I think like if you develop that good character, you will be in peace with self and you develop a peaceful personality, as well as the other prophets and ascended masters. Uh, they emphasized on teaching us the teachings of Jesus, the teachings of Moses, and all of them. So we can start with sharing with people Muhammad as he was known with a great character. And then also we can see what method did Muhammad develop to create a loving and peaceful personality and also helping others to be a peaceful person and help, honestly, within 23 years of his life, he created a very good community that was able to spread peace and love, worldwide.
I
When
mean,
we're
the
talking about,
biggest
huh?
community, probably the biggest community. I mean, he's definitely one of, if not the top three most influential men in history. So,
Yes, exactly. So hopefully, together we can shed the light on his teachings. First of all, is as you know, we are now like the most famous historians, Muslim historians, and even non-Muslim historians. They made the biography of Muhammad. If you just go to Barnes and Noble, you're gonna find a lots of them. I myself, I started very young. Before the age of 15, I read the history of Muhammad from the very first one historian in the Muslim category. His name is Ibn Ishaq, who died at the year 151 after the migration of Muhammad to what we call now Medina. But I prefer to emphasize on the teachings of Muhammad based on the Quranic verses. So that would be the methodology we will follow together. But what I wanted to say here is Muhammad was an orphan. He had kind of a difficult upbringing as a youth, and he used to avoid the noise, like you said, in the village. So he would spend a lots of time in meditation in a cave. It's known as Cave Hira. People can Google it. It's in Mecca, and that's where he was born and raised in Mecca. Um, but overall, what I want to emphasize is what made Muhammad Muhammad is the inspirations that he received from the Quran and he applied in his life. Okay.
mhm.
So if you let me share with you this document just to help the audience to see where we're coming from. So this is like chapter Ashura, and in this chapter, I just wanted to see anybody can embody the teachings of the Quran. Anybody can have that character that Muhammad had. Anybody can develop that. Because like this area is very powerful where it starts by saying وَمَا كَانَ لِبَشَرٍ أَنْ يُكَلِّمَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَّا وَحْيًا. So any bashar, any human, okay? So any human, okay, will be communicating with Allah by this form of inspiration. And I really understood this part later on in my life when I started to meditate. Like, because like when you meditate and you get into deep meditation, or you can call it entranced meditation, you start to realize you're receiving information that's not your imagination, that's not yours. Okay. So that's how Muhammad was receiving the message. And in the same chapter, Ashura, in verse 52, it tells us how Muhammad received this information. And it says, وَكَذَلِكَ أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ, which is, and thus we inspired you. So you see, it's the same word, Saif. It is inspiration. So he was inspired. I wanted to just highlight it because I guess I forgot to highlight it earlier. So we
And the exact
inspired
word
you.
for inspiration is what in Arabic? I
It's
see it
wahi.
highlighted there.
It's
Wahi.
wahi.
Okay.
It's this word here, wahi. So wahi is inspiration, And then it tells you, and thus we inspired you. So you see, we inspired you, or to you, Ilayka. So we inspired, Ilayka is more to you, okay? To you, a consciousness, ruhan, min amrina. So you see that ruh is consciousness, and he was inspired, this consciousness, this awareness. And then the verse continues to say, ما كنت تدري ما الكتاب. So basically, Muhammad had no idea about the book of life, you can call it, the book of information. I sometimes use the quantum physics words, like, for example, the database. Okay. Tom Campbell refers to that book of life as the database in his teachings. But it says, جعلناه نورا نهدي به من نشاء من عبادنا. And that comes the power. And that's why I said I prefer to do the legacy of the Prophet from the Quranic point of view more than any book that was written by a historian. Because it says this book, okay, this Quran is a light, okay? And this light we guide by it, okay? We guide by it whom we will. And if you remember, Saif, I always emphasized on the point, every time you see the word will in the Quran, whom we will, it means the Quran is referring us to the free will. So if you choose, because free will means you choose to do or don't. If you choose to learn and use this book as a manual to just learn from it, then you will be guided by it. It will be the light that guides you to what? It says to the straight path, like the path of tuning in with the Creator, the path of helping you make the right choices in the life that help you and help those around you.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to you, Saif?
Yeah, I think when it comes to this concept of free will, I think a lot of people get confused by it, especially in a religious context, because they see Allah and the source energy as being this all-knowing entity. And so there's some level of determinism. And so I think people have these free will and deterministic impulses and they clash sometimes.
Yeah,
So,
I'm glad you brought the word Allah. So Allah is the term in the Quran that is used for source energy, God, whatever you want to name it. So when we say Allah, that's what we mean is source creator, source energy, source intelligence, whatever. Now, the free will is, yes, we are here, we have a free will. Nobody is forcing you to choose to drink water or drink orange juice or drink water and drink this. You make a choice. Same thing like when you went to college. Nobody is forcing you to go to do business or to do medical school. You make a choice of what you want. So what the verse is saying here to Muhammad, we inspired you this book of life, this information. And this will be a light and guidance to those whom we will. Basically, if you make a choice to learn, I mean, you're not going to learn if you're making a choice, I don't want to learn this. So, how are you going to learn? So, you need to first make a choice. And
yeah.
once you make that choice, you will be guided to it. So, next time, I will start with you the very first 5 verses of Revelation that Muhammad received in the cave. And then
Mhm.
we'll take it this way about first verses that he was receiving by order. And it shows us how it helped him to be himself and also to help others, as I said. Okay?
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I'll see you then next time, Safe.
All right. Yeah. We'll see you
Thank
next
you.
time. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.